And welcome to Witch Chat Chats. So come on in and sit for our spell. We're sponsored by Evermoving We Rise, Moonlight Potions and Charms, and Saul Ravencraft, Wizard for Hire. I am your goddess host, Miss Nikki Kirby, and our co-host, Saul Ravencraft. He is actually has come out of his little fair and he is very, very tired right now.
It's funny when you hold energy with a project for a couple of months or so. Uh, I talk to people about this during consultations that when we're holding energy somewhere and we let it go, it's not like it's on a bungee cord and it just snaps back to us. We kind of haul it in, and during the time that you're doing that, you're kind of tired and achy and stupid. And if you're lucky, you're able to just go sit in the ocean up to your neck for a while and enjoy the beverages and completely let go of things. For a lot of us, we don't really get to completely do that. We still have to do things. The day after I came back from Sherwood, I had a video shoot to do with something. And so I had to prep the cameras and haul all that stuff out and do that. But for the most part, I'm not, my brain's not firing on all cylinders right now. And that's okay. It's okay. It's normal to have that. We don't have to be winning like Charlie Sheen 24 hours a day. Um, you know, but it's also, you do feel a little diminished. And so that's me. I'm a little diminished right now. I hope you don't mind.
All right. So you want to know what our divination is for today?
You betcha.
Okay, so our divination is from Letters from a Life Coach. So it says, and I quote, when you learn to create your own magic, you also get better at noticing it everywhere you go. Woo! So, wise one, what does that mean to you?
Now we just talked about that. I don't know how much wisdom I've got there. I like cats. That's what I know. That's all I got. Well, no, but it is true, and we've talked in the past about my journey. I got involved in a lot of this to prove that it wasn't true, and went way down the rabbit hole. And it is true that when my perspective was firmly in the camp that magic is bullshit, then yeah, I didn't really have much of it going on. But when my brain opened up to the possibility that this stuff could happen to you, then yeah, there was more and more of it, and now it's something that I've gotten used to in some degree in my own way, and it's the same as anything. If you know you can't do something, you're right. And if you know that magic can't happen to you, you're right. But when you start to observe and to accept it, then yeah, there's more and more of it. Uh, it could be what psychologists call confirmation bias, right? But I don't care. I got
Right.
nothing to prove. And if observing more magic in my life brings me joy, then why do we need to destroy everything that brings people joy?
Well, the thing about it is, I believe that, and I've said this throughout what the last 4 years that we've been on. That magic is really, it exists in all things. It's around us, it surrounds us, it's inside us. I mean, come on. Really? Um, the difference between science and magic is science is explain magic. Duh. um, and the thing about it is people, there's some people that just wants to be able to explain everything. And I get it. If you want to be able to explain it, fine. No big deal. But there's some people who just like to sit there and just like the wonder of it. You know, just like to look and be able to wonder. I like that too. I like both of it. You know, just the kid in me likes to be able to wonder. You know, just like Walt Disney, Walt Disney brought the wonder and the magic back into the kids' lives and everything. I mean, that was one of the good things about him. One of the good
Right.
things about him. Now, um, it's the wonder in people. That's what magic is. It's your imagination. It's the wonder that you keep. That's what the fun of it is. Don't be a sour puss and have that corn cob up your butt. I mean, because the corn cob eventually becomes a broom, and the broom eventually becomes a tree, and the tree eventually becomes a forest, and the
Right.
forest eventually starts to grow, and you start to populate our planet. Actually, you start becoming good for the planet because our planet really needs trees, you know. And perhaps you
Right.
start to fart oxygen instead of carbon dioxide.
And this gets to be a tricky area because I think one, you have to you should have sovereignty of thought, right? What's going on in
Mm,
here, that belongs to you, and you should be allowed to encounter the universe however you want. But when I start pointing fingers out there and say, well, this is how it has to be for you too, then you start crossing a line. You start, if I can persuade you to join me, then that's one thing. But if I try to enforce my perspective, then that becomes another thing. But then on the other hand, we have things like science that has demonstrated itself and is provable, and uh, we have people that don't accept some of that and then try and enforce this loosey goosiness on everybody. So to me, I think you gotta start with the Bennis brothers. You know about the Bennis brothers, don't you? None yo and none my. Right? There's a lot of stuff going on that is none of my business, and I should keep it that way. There's a lot of stuff that is none of your business, and that should be acceptable. And we spend our culture spends a lot of time worrying about stuff that is none of our business. Uh, you know, I've finally in my news feeds managed to thin out all the celebrity gossip as to whose marriage is breaking up and all that, because you know what? None of my business. It doesn't matter at all. And I don't want to see it. And so I keep saying, don't show me that. Don't show me that. Don't show me that. And it's finally starting to even out. Um, so it, I think it can be tricky to form those lines correctly, where you're paying attention and you're fighting for what matters, and you're also not getting sucked into stuff that just wastes you.
Well, it's not only that, but I really don't care. I don't really care. It's not only is it none of my business, but I really just don't care. It's just like if they catch Ryan Reynolds going to the grocery store and buying a box of Rice Krispies. Big deal. He eats Rice Krispies. Who cares? Who really cares that he eats Rice Krispies? Or
Oh, the
that
Rice
he's
Krispie
buying a
dudes
cup
do.
of coffee. Well, or he buys a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Who cares? He goes to Starbucks to buy a cup of coffee. Big deal. Really. Or he goes and he buys, notebook paper or whatever. Leave the man alone. He has the right to go and buy whatever he wants to. Big deal. Or, whoever it may be, Britney Spears or whoever. Leave them alone. I don't care what they buy. I really don't. They've got more money than I do. They can go out and buy, hell, they can go out and buy a limousine. That's fine. If they want to do that, that's fine. I don't want to do that. That's not really my thing.
But Ryan Gosling
But
dressed as Beavis, I need to know about that.
Okay, Saul, that's what you want to know about. That's fine. But it's not really that big of a deal for me. I just don't really care. I care more about, you know, the important things. Like, for example, I want to know what Congress is going to cut back on that's going to affect me and my mother. What's going to affect us. That's what I want to know about.
Right.
Stuff like that. That's important for us. Or what are they going to put into place that's really going to help, America? That's what I want to know. I don't want to know what they anyway, let's get off the politics. But that's the kind of things that I want to know. And then we can talk about stuff that's funny. It's fine. No big deal. But things don't always have to be so damn serious all the time either.
Right.
And have fun with yourself. Have fun with your magic. People, and I know there's certain aspects and certain branches out there that say you have to be serious all the time, and they got their little broomsticks up their butts, and that's fine. You won't catch me in those. Okay, they'll probably execute my butt. And I don't care.
Fair enough.
You have to memorize the entire script, the ritual script in the original Latin, and be able to pronounce it backwards and forwards. And you have to be able to do this blindfold at the witching hour. And oh, hell, screw that shit.
Oh, some of that's kind of fun.
And you have to do it while you're dressed all in your black robe, and you have to do it while you're standing on your head. And
You don't want to stand on your head in your black robes.
oh yes, because you have to be naked underneath.
That
You
defeats the
gotta have that
purpose of the
in
robes
there.
here. Yeah, that's pretty undignified there.
Oh, come on, Saul. You gotta have your fun in there some damn where. How are they going to see? How are they going to see that you're actually taking it seriously? Okay, people, we're just screwing around here. But I mean, come on. You know, you take your magic seriously to a point, but you got to be able to have good times with it. I know I do. Otherwise, why would deity give you a sense of humor? I mean, really. They would not have given you a sense of humor if they meant for everything to be taken so seriously all the time. I never really understood that. And everybody's got a sense of humor. I mean, even the person with the broomstick up their butt. There has to be a sense of humor. That person has got to smile somehow. I don't know how, but they do. And if you're listening to this or watching this, whichever one, and you're not smiling, then you got a broomstick up your butt. And it needs to be removed.
Not everybody is a smiley person. I think you can be happy without smiling all the time.
Well, there are some people that can't smile, and that is a physical thing. I do admit that, and I do apologize to those people, because they can't do that. That is a physical thing. So I do apologize to those people. It's a rarity, and I forgot what it was called, but that does happen. So I do apologize to those people. And it doesn't mean that they're not happy, but they just cannot physically smile. It's something that's wrong in their muscles around their mouth. And I just forgot what it is. I've only seen it a couple times.
I think it's also possible to have a psychological barrier to smiling. When I was a kid, my grandmother was unhappy that I wasn't smiling all the time. And so she would tell me I needed to smile. And so I would smile. And she'd say, not like that. Okay.
That's so smile.
So, well, but I couldn't give her the smile she wanted to see. And I'm not going to say that it kept me from smiling, but just smiling was not a natural part of my demeanor. And even when I tried to smile, I didn't have what was the right smile. And so I had to feel guilty for not smiling and then not being able to smile correctly. And that doesn't cultivate the natural smile. Right? And so, well, there are lots of people that for whatever reason they're not going to have the resting smiling face, and they're going to have so much going on in their head up here that they forget that they're supposed to radiate Barbie happiness. And that I think if you don't smile, but that's just the way you are, then that's fine. Right? And I was like that. Eeyore was happy sometimes.
Well, I was like that too growing up. And it was because I didn't exactly have the greatest of childhoods too. And I had a lot on my plate. And I remember I was working for Walmart, and I was told by one of the managers that I should be smiling because I'm from the South. And I remember I got wrote up for that. I actually got wrote up for that. And I told my manager, I said, you do understand that the manager who reported me has a screw loose, right? You do understand that. And the thing about it is my sense of humor, if you guys haven't noticed this in the last 4 seasons, tends to get me in trouble from time to time. And it has gotten me in trouble throughout my life. And I've gotten to where I've gotten used to it, and I've gotten to where I just don't care anymore. I really don't. I mean, I've gotten punished for it for years and years and years, and I just don't care. I really don't. If you guys don't like it, That's your problem, not mine. I just say it because that's just the way I am.
I think you
But
should smile when you say that.
I do sometimes. I do now. I really do. And you know, I've
You'd be
learned
pretty
over
if
the
you
years.
smiled more.
I've learned over the years. Okay,
Yeah.
especially when somebody gives you an insult, you say thank you and you smile because it pisses them off. It does. It really does. It pisses them off. And they don't like that.
Well, I am gonna stand up spiritually on behalf of all the people who are not naturally smiley, and I'm gonna say you do you. You don't have to smile to be happy. You got nothing to prove. You let that face do whatever it does. So there. Both sides represented.
Both sides represented. Good for you,
That's
Saul.
right.
Good for you. You stand up for the little guy, the little grumper. Good for you. Good for you, Saul. All right. And with that, we are going to go to commercial and we will be right back with Witch Chat Chats. Stay tuned. Anybody can tell you what is on a tarot or oracle card. What matters is seeing beyond what others may not be able to see and help the client to uncover what lies in the mist. What do readings from Moonlight Potions and Charms do? Wednesday, I did this ancestor reading, and it was an amazing reading. And it was a detailed reading. And I remember talking to this customer's ancestors, and it was so delightful. And he wanted some questions to be answered about the magic in his family because he didn't know. And his family was mostly like most of our families are. You know how everything is like hush hush when it comes to the magic in his family. And he wanted to know who can he actually talk to about the history of the magic in his family. And I was able to give him specifically who he can go to talk to about that. What particular deity he can actually go to be able to help him with this. And it was just an amazing reading, and talking to his ancestors, they were such a delight, and they told me so much about this customer. It was just an absolutely wonderful reading for him, and I was just so happy to be able to give him this wonderful reading. It's really amazing to be able to give people these readings, these products that's really going to help them, and be able to give back to the community, because this is what Moonlight Potions and Charms is about. We want to help you to embrace the power of your own magic. That is what we are all about. It's to help you to do that. Book now and allow our wonderful staff to take care of your spiritual reading needs. And there is so much more in our Wicked store to help you to embrace the power of your own magic. So come on in to Moonlight Potions and Charms at www.moonlightpotionscharms.com and discover the wicked things that ignite the magical passion in you. Have you heard? The King of the Crossroads, Papa Legba, has graciously opened the roads, paving the way for the Papa Legba Altar on the Go to be nominated as Outstanding Product of the Year in the 2024 Witchcraft and Occult Media Awards. Makes Papa Legba Altar on the Go stand out. Complete traveling altar kit. Everything you need for sacred space is right at your fingertips, all neatly arranged in a mystical painter's pail. And it's compact and convenient, a perfect powerful temporary altar, whether you're a modern nomad, a military soul on the move, or a wanderlust-stricken traveler. It also has additional space for the personal touch. As customization is a key to your spiritual journey, the Papa Legba altar on the go leaves room for you to infuse your unique energy. Moonlight Potions and Charms and Papa Legba invites you to join the spellbinding spectacle at the 2024 Witchcraft and Occult Media Awards. Cast your vote for the Papa Legba on the go as the outstanding product of the year. Your support fuels the magic. Go to https://rb.gy/PC3F11 to cast your vote. Remember, your altar is not just a space, it's a step in your magical journey. Explore the depths of your inner self by visiting Moonlight Potions and Charms at mpcmagic.com. Be ready to embrace the power of your own magic. Have you wondered what spirituality is? Spirituality is limitless, as it does not contain any boundaries on beliefs or practices. Spirituality's most important component is personal experience and allows one to explore it freely. Evermoving We Rise is a spiritual moving tradition, as our name is our lifestyle, because we are persistently rising and moving forward. We realize that everyone's spiritual journey is extremely personal, but more easily traveled with reinforcement. We'll teach you to become friends with your shadow, emerge your authentic self, and give you time and space to develop your own spirituality. And when situations bump back, you'll have the entire community behind you, as we are a magical family who work to sustain each other. Discover the benefits of working within a society dedicated to helping you grow on your personal path. Visit us on our website, Linktree, or Facebook page and discover why we don't fit in the box.
Hey, welcome back to Witch Hat Chats. It is Saul Ravencraft. I am here with Miss Nikki Curvy. Nikki Curvy. I like that. I like that. That's your new sexy name, Nikki Curvy. Miss Nikki Curvy.
Okay, so I know you're not from Rutherford County, so
you just take that however you want. Miss Nikki Kirby, glad to be here with you. It's a weird day. I just came out of Sherwood, and I am in that kind of stupid mode that happens when you release your energy from a project. It doesn't just snap back to you like a bungee cord. You got to haul that stuff back in, and I'm just a little goofy right now, but that's okay. I get to be. And,
well, so I'll be glad that it doesn't snap right back, because if it did, it would knock your ass out.
Yeah, probably so. And so that puts me in this weird kind of winter space, right? So the wheel of the year for the universe follows its pattern, and we have spring, summer, autumn, winter. But in our own world, on our own path, we go through our own mini cycles of that. Everything that we take on has its own spring where we form the vision and plant the seeds. It has its own summer where we put the work in and build that energy. It has its own autumn where we harvest what we've put out there. And it has its own winter when we just kind of have that in-between time. And our culture doesn't like that. We're not supposed to ever have a winter. Some people think it's always summer, right? And it has taken me a while to give myself permission to go through my own winter cycles, to allow myself to have stillness. I'm even wearing my Hanged Man tarot shirt today to remind me that it's okay to have some stillness, and it's okay to let yourself be, and not have to be pushing on everything. I still got stuff I got to do, right? And so I'm not quite on that vacation I'd like to be, but I also don't have to be pushing and cheering the next thing on. I get to let myself restore. And my gosh, how many situations do people have where they need to do that?
And you're asking me.
Well, I mean, seriously, there's all kinds of circumstances. People grieve. I still can't get over a friend of mine. Today was the second year anniversary of a friend of mine whose significant other took his own life, and that's a whole other thing right there. But I was astonished at people that a month or two after were surprised that she was still sad and she was still devastated by this. Haven't you moved on yet? It's like, well,
Hmm.
no, idiot. What's wrong with you?
Well,
There are times where people are sick, that they gotta do things. That there's all kinds of situations where we gotta take a spiritual timeout and restore. And we shouldn't feel guilty about that.
the thing about it is people grieve in their own way. Um, some people, they hide their grief. We're told that we need to get over it. You never get over grief, you get through it. I tell people that. Um, the generation before mine, we were told that you need to just get over it. If you had a broken leg, all you got to do is wrap it up and walk on it. Um, that's what I grew up with. I
Right.
mean, some of the things I remember as a kid, um, doing when I was a kid. I don't know about you, Saul, but I remember if you had like if you broke something, or maybe if you scratched something at school or something like that, you walked it off. I remember those days. Um, you never did go to the doctor. You just got up and you walked it off. It didn't matter what it was. If you sprained your ankle, you walked it off. Stuff like that. Nowadays, they take you to the hospital for like a little cut. Now, I wish they overdo everything now. But back when I was a kid, they never did anything like that. It had to be something really, really major. I mean, you had to have blood everywhere and stuff like that for them to take you to the doctor. Um, but here's the thing. You know who you are. You know your body. And it's okay to say no. It really is. And if people are giving you a hard time, there's really three words that all you have to do is say. And I bet Saul knows what those three words are. Do you know, Saul?
Lots of things spring to mind. What are your three words?
I bet you know what they are. Begins with a K. Can you figure that
No,
out?
no, just tell us. Tell us. Don't make it a big thing. Just tell
Come
us.
on, come on, come on, Saul. You can figure this out. I know you can. You're a smart guy. You're a smart guy. You know me well enough. You know what I'll say. Come
Kangaroos
on,
know
Saul.
stuff.
The first word is kiss, and the second word is Come on, Saul. What's the second word?
Kiss rocks.
Kiss
did.
my ass. That's what it is.
There you go.
Kiss
There
my
you
ass.
But you know, it's
Or you
easy
can
to
say
think
jump off
about.
of a bridge.
It's easy to think about this kind of stuff when we're talking about being sick or grief or something like that. It's harder to wrap your head around it when you've just put your energy into something uplifting, right? You know that when you've done a festival and you've taught and you've had your booth and you've interacted with a lot of people and you've made a lot of new contacts, and it was a very uplifting, fulfilling weekend for you. And when you get back, you may have to take the next 2 days off stupid because because you just are overwhelmed. And even though it was uplifting, right? You're not sad, you're not grieving at the end of this thing, but you are used up. And we have to allow ourselves that downtime to get through it. And this is something that I've really started to do fairly recently over the last year or so. I would do something all weekend and Monday would come and I go, well, I guess I better keep doing something, even though I have my own schedule, right? Even though no one is expecting me at a desk at 8 a.m. in the morning on Monday, I would still feel like, well, I have to keep moving. And it's been the last year or so that I've given myself permission to take the day off and just be an idiot. To not do anything important, to let myself ground and rest and watch something stupid on TV, and just be.
Take a mental health day. That's what they call it.
Exactly.
You take a mental health day.
Yeah. And I've started calling it
take
taking the day off stupid, because that reminds me that I don't have to do anything important that day. So
Well,
it's important to do that.
But, Saul, you really shouldn't have to take a whole day. You really should be doing this every single day. Take an hour, take 10 minutes a day for yourself. That's what you really should be doing every single day. Take 10 minutes for yourself and do something for yourself. So that way you don't have to go, oh, I'm so exhausted all the time. I do.
Well, and again, this is one of those times where people may experience things differently. But the way I look at it is there's a lot of people that take a day off once a week because their job only requires them to work 7 days a week. So I'm okay with taking a whole day. And I'll do it if I want to.
But you can. But I'm fussing at you. You should do at least about 10 minutes a day to take care of Saul. 10 minutes a day. You can find a minute in an hour to go, oh, I'm going to take care of myself for a minute. Whether that's your favorite coffee, or I know you're a coffee drinker. I'm not. Or it's your, I don't know, your favorite drink. Hell, whatever it is, Saul, favorite something. Get your favorite little beverage every day.
I do have some banana flavored bourbon.
Yeah, drink that at night, or whatever you're smoking, your pipe, or whatever. That's your thing every night. Take care of yourself once a night. I do now.
Well, let's not make this about me. Let's
Well, it's not just about
help
you. It's about
remind everybody.
Everybody needs to do something at night or during the day or whenever. Take 10 minutes and take care of yourself. Breathe. I know I do. And it's something different because, number one, I have a business, a full-time business. I've got Witch Hat Chats. I've got Evermoving We Rise. And then I have my mother I take care of. Okay. So I am really, really busy. Now, on top of that, I'm dating. I'm having so
And
much fun.
I am going to give everybody permission to take a good 2 or 3 hours or more to take care of themselves if that's what
Or whatever you
they
feel
want
like.
to do. Yeah. You don't have
Yeah,
to just
whatever
do
you
10
feel like.
minutes, right? You go for it.
And make it magical because everything you do is magic. You are a magical person. Okay. DD is within you. So everything you do is magical. Everything. Everything you do. So when you do anything, it doesn't matter whether you are fixing your coffee, you're talking on the phone, or you're watching us. Yes, you're watching us. And you're listening to our advice, or you're just chilling out as you're listening to us. Yes, listening to us. Whatever it is, it's a magical thing. You're doing a magical thing because it takes a lot of a lot of things to happen as you're doing that. Can you just imagine what it is like for your body to be able to calculate everything you're hearing right now? To take all the noise that it's hearing and just to focus on our voices and to understand what we're saying. Can you get that? I mean, can you understand how much the brain has to process and what it has to do in order to focus on what we're just saying? I mean, just think about that. I mean, some of the things that come to my mind, really. And that's just magic. And that really is magic. That's a magical thing. When you really get focused into some of the things that the brain has to actually do. And that's magic. People don't look at it like that. I mean, when I fix my tea is magic. And I even say a little prayer as I'm fixing my tea to what I want my intention to be when I'm fixing my tea every day. Even when I'm boiling the water and I'm putting in the herbs and I'm even stirring it. I do that. And I always make sure I'm in a very good mood. Even when I feel like hell, I still make sure I'm in a very good mood.
So how do you do that?
I think about positive things, things I want to be into the world. I always do. I think about that because you always want something in the world that you want. There's things in the world that I don't like in this world. Everybody has things in the world that they don't like, but you don't want to focus on that. You want to focus on things that you want in this world, things that you would want to be. Me, I want to leave this world a better place than what it was when I was arrived here. Don't you?
Well, how could I say no?
And I think I have made a contribution to that. Now I admit it's not the golden contribution that I would have loved to do, but I have not left yet. I still got work to do,
Fair enough.
and we all do. We all do. But it's more than one person's work, and one person cannot do this alone. So,
I think a lot of people get lost in the idea that they're supposed to find their purpose. They're supposed to find their destiny, what they were here for. Like there's a U-shaped place in the world, and you're supposed to be doing that. And the whole supposed to be, I think, messes with people, because there are many points in our life where we're trying to figure out what's next, where we're trying to figure out how to maximize our what we're able to do, and to get it to fit. And at one point you I think look for someone that will show you that, or tell you that. And then, especially those that tend to go down a witchier path, you realize that no one's going to do that, but you still have to figure out what it is. And that's a lot of pressure to find the perfect path for yourself, to be doing the perfect things, what the universe wants you for. And
Well,
once you let go of that idea, the universe is random with that kind of thing, and you get to contribute to what that's going to be.
Well, first of all, there's no such thing as perfect. Let it go. The word should never exist, because there's no such thing as perfect.
In a perfect world, you mean?
Deities are not perfect. There is not one deity that is perfect. It doesn't matter what mythology you go and do, okay? No deity is perfect. I don't care if you go into Greek or African or Irish, Christian, Jews. It doesn't matter. No Greek, no entity, nothing is perfect. There has never been a perfect one. Even death itself is not perfect. There's no such thing. There's no such creature.
But it is the best we've got.
But it doesn't exist. And see, once you accept that, it's good. Because here's the thing. Only you can find your passion, because your passion is in you. And once you do your shadow work, you're on the path to finding your passion. And when you find your passion, that is when you will find your purpose.
But if you're not feeling passionate today, that's okay. You don't have to feel it every day.
That's okay. But I'm just saying, once you find your purpose, everything usually falls in place. But you'll still have days in which you may be depressed, but that's okay. But at least you'll have your purpose. But you'll be human. Everybody is human. It's okay to feel down. It's okay to have days in which you feel great. And it's okay. It's okay. We're human. Nobody is perfect.
I'm also going to say that you may be one of those people for whom your purpose is unclear. That no matter what you try to embrace, no matter what you try to raise up, it doesn't work like it does on TV. That the light doesn't come on, and every day, your world may just be weird and chaotic and one thing after another, and you never feel like you latch on to that one thing. And I don't think that means anything is broken. I think that there are plenty of people, that there are some people that they have that wonderful center, but I think that there are many people that it's a little more scattered than that, and they're never going to find that one center. But and I'm one of those people that I don't have just the one thing. I have multiple areas where I find fulfillment. And I don't think it's ever going to narrow down to one. I don't think it ever will. And I have accepted that I'm not going to have the one purpose. I'm gonna be more like the butterfly, touching flower to flower, and that's okay. I enjoy being multifaceted. So if you find that one passion, you embrace it, good for you. If you don't, well, maybe you're doing fine anyway.
Well, your purpose can be multifaceted too. But you know what? Even if it takes you a long time, even if you're that person that Saul was talking about, because I was, there's no such thing as broken people. I don't believe that. I don't. Because I grew up being told that I was never good. I was never good enough for anything. I was always put down. I never had enough self-confidence for anything. And everybody thought that I was the perfect person. They told me, oh, Nikki, you are so perfect. They even tell me now that I'm perfect. Everybody thinks I'm perfect. I am not perfect.
I won't tell you that.
You told me that before. People think I am because I've always had to act like it. But I'm not. I'm not. I've had my dreams touched and they've turned to dust. I've been there. Trust me. And I have been put down. And I have felt like nothing is ever going to go right. And I have been to the point where I didn't even want to wake up the next day. But life goes on. The next day is always a new day.
Exactly.
It's always a day to restart again. It is. And let it go. Let it go.
Take that time to restore.
Because the great thing about life is you can always start again the next day. And I know a lot of us don't want to do that. But it's better than death, because with death, you never get a second chance. Physical death is permanent. And you never get that chance to make your mark on the world. And you really want to make your mark on the world. Trust me.
Absolutely.
All right. So that is all for our show today. So embrace your power, support your community, and keep your fuzzy babies, your family, your friends, and yourself safe, and have an absolute magical week.
I know some people who like to chat. I think they're witches, how about that? And every Sunday at 12 o'clock. And if you're hurting, they're willing to talk. Nikki Curia with that Blackstone. I agree, every moving we rise. Laughing so will the beautiful mind. I give you blessings under moonlight. I know some people who like to chat. I think they're witches, how about that? And every Sunday at 12 o'clock